This is Radio Paul. Hello, kiddies. I've been off the air for a while. However, I am back. Yes, I have to work. I have to earn a paycheck like all the other Anons. However, today's show is going to be very interesting. Meet a Scientologist is a program that was put up about a year ago on YouTube and is being hosted on the Scientology website. And I find it interesting that for an organization that has 8 million members, some of these Scientologists are getting as few as 200 or 300 views on their YouTube account. What I did, though, is I tracked down a lot of these people. Some of them only give their first name. Some do give their first and last. And what I found is that these supposed successful people are either not so successful that they don't have their own website, or they're successful enough or smart enough to have a website, which is what this is about. We are going to meet Scientologists. I'm going to give you names, phone numbers, and email addresses. I will ask that no threats or intimidation or harassment be made, but I intend to contact each one of these people regularly through an anonymous Gmail account or other account to inform them of the murder of Lisa McPherson, the ritualistic beatings of David Miscavige, the convictions of fraud in France, the suspicious deaths at the Fort Harrison Hotel with people having their skin boiled off, the slave wages, the fair game policy, the many other human rights abuses. And I'm going to ask that the viewers of this episode do the same. Reach out to these folks. Because after all, we were invited to meet a Scientologist. Now let's have a fair exchange of dialogue with each one of these people that felt that they should be speaking on the behalf of the cult. Let us have a decent, normal, free speech interaction with them and educate them as to what Scientology is really about. So here we go. First up is Owen York. Owen York is an artist, a photographer, etc. And here's his website, owenyork.com. And he is also an auditor for the cult of Scientology. Now, this is a man who has some creative skills. I always thought artists were peaceful at heart. So please reach out to Owen. He boasts so beautifully on his video how he couldn't even paint if it wasn't for Scientology. I would like to know, could Lisa McPherson paint if she were alive today and not starved to death and bitten by cockroaches? I'd like to know what Owen has to say about that. I'd like to know if he would like to paint with the blood of Mike Render, Marty Rathburn, Mark Yeager's blood from their noses when they were punched by David Miscavige in the face. Yeah, so there's something artistic. Niki Lanik is a race car driver from the UK, and Mr. Lanik is a very proud member of Youth for Human Rights International, which is a fraud front group for the cult of Scientology. And I was just wondering if maybe he could give some driving lessons, to the poor soul that was run off the road in California trying to escape the cult by the name of Mark Headley. Yes, because Scientologists are aggressive drivers. This is well known. There's plenty of video of them doing things like trying to ride over people with tractors, running people off the road, etc. And maybe Niki should give them some driving lessons because they look psychopathic when they're screaming, raving lunatics behind the wheel. How about that woman who claimed that Aaron Saxton was beating on her windshield? She doesn't even know, anything about cars. So, Niki, you should be aware of this behavior. Also, I want to bring up real quick, he also has Facebook and MySpace accounts. So, by all means, folks, reach out to him there as well. Angelique is a skydiver, and they don't give her last name, but I've been able to trace her down by photographs at bayareaskydiving.com, where she apparently works, because in the video she's jumping out of a plane, and they have pictures of her there, and she's a skydiving instructor. And I have to ask her about the issue of falling. There was an Australian individual whose daughter who fell down a staircase and died, and the cult tried to help him or instructed him to cover up her death. And I would like to know, as someone who deals in falling, do you think that's an appropriate way for a child to fall and break their neck? Maybe you should be involved in finding out why that child died, or her sister died of a niacin overdose. You folks can reach out to them at the website. You can't email them directly. Ludwig Bouwer is a musician and music engineer, and I have to ask him, with suspicious deaths like Kendrick Moxon's daughter being electrocuted, could you explain to these people at the cult on how to work electricity? Maybe you could record people screaming as they're being stabbed to death 87 times, like that young man who was a schizophrenic who stabbed his mother literally 87 times to death because the cult took him off of his medication. He went berserk and stabbed his mother. Maybe you'd like to record that, pal. I just think that you should be aware that that really happened, and then the cult tried to cover that up. So, you know, be aware of it. Ludwig also has a MySpace page and a Facebook page. Maybe folks would like to chat with him there, share their opinions, and inform him. And then we have Kenton Gray, a NASCAR race car driver who has devoted his time and energy to this diabolical cult. And I thought maybe folks would like to send Mr. Gray some postcards of Lisa McPherson's face and some of the other victims of this cult that he so willingly supports at the address listed here. You can also send emails through his website. There is a Facebook and I believe a MySpace page for him as well. So, Mr. Gray, you want to be out there making lots of money for a cult where they are literally sucking the life out of people while you're living the high life as a race car driver. Think again, pal. It's not worth it. Also, back to our girl Angelique. She got into a car in the video with a name Hilty on it, and there's a phone number, and I was able to find out that this goes to Hilty Fastening Company. I guess they make fasteners for various things, possibly for skydiving. And this business is located 3.5 miles from one Scientology center and 1.5 from another, right in the middle of San Jose. So it's probably a cult business, but I also thought I would expose that as well. And ladies and gentlemen, just keep it clean, keep it respectful. When you send information to these folks, you do not want to turn this into a legal situation. But by all means, find the mailing addresses, phone numbers, emails at these websites, and reach out to these folks and say, hey, you're a human being. You're not a homo novus. And as eloquently as you speak and as successful as a person as you are, you can clearly see what you must be able to see at some point, what is wrong with this cult, and take action. Take these voices away from the cult. Take them away from David Miscavige. That evil cult does not deserve hardworking people.